Found out my fiancé was cheating 3 days before the wedding, so I showed up, let everyone get seated, then played his voicemails to his side piece over the speakers. His mom fainted, and I took the honeymoon alone. I played my fiancé's sex voicemails to his mistress over the church speakers 3 minutes before our ceremony was supposed to start, and his mother collapsed in the front pew. The worst part, I almost didn't check his phone. He left it on the bathroom counter Thursday night, face up, and a text preview lit up the screen. Can't wait to feel you again tomorrow. Same hotel? I told myself it was work. I told myself a lot of things while my hands shook, and I unlocked it with his passcode, our anniversary, because he's that stupid. 47 messages. Voice memos that made me want to vomit on our bathroom floor. Her moaning his name. Him telling her how different she was from me. How free he felt with her. The newest one was from Tuesday, 2 days ago. Baby, I know Saturday's your wedding, but I'll be thinking about you inside me instead of her. I sat on that bathroom floor until 3 a.m. reading everything. They'd been sleeping together for 8 months. My friend Jess from spin class. The same Jess who helped me pick my dress. Who threw my bachelorette party. Who asked if she could bring a +1 to the wedding because she met someone special. I didn't scream, didn't wake him. I forwarded every voicemail to my email, and then I called my brother. Don't cancel anything, he said, trust me. Friday morning, my fiancé asked why I looked tired. I told him wedding stress. He kissed my forehead and said, one more day until you're mine forever. I smiled and thought about Jess's voice memo from last week saying she loved him. Saturday morning, I got ready at my parents' house like planned. My mom kept saying I looked pale. I told her I was fine. My bridesmaids, including Jess, helped me into my dress. Jess said I looked beautiful. She was wearing the exact necklace he'd given her for her birthday. I know because I saw the credit card charge. The church was packed, 200 people. His whole family came from out of state. My great-aunt flew in from Arizona. Everyone was dressed up, smiling, taking pictures. I watched from the bridal suite as guests filed into pews. Jess sat on his side because they'd become close while planning the wedding surprise video. My brother met me outside the sanctuary doors. You sure? He asked. Play at the second everyone's seated. I waited in the hallway while the bridesmaids walked down the aisle, watched through the crack in the door as my fiancé stood at the altar looking nervous and happy. His best man clapped his shoulder. His mom was crying already, dabbing her eyes in the front row. The music changed to the bridal march. I didn't move. My brother was in the sound booth. We'd told the church tech guy there was a special surprise video before the ceremony. He'd helped us connect the laptop to the speaker system. The music cut out. My fiancé looked confused. Then Jess's voice filled the church. Oh God, say my name. His voice, Jess, fuck Jess. I walked down the aisle during the second voicemail. The one where he told her he didn't love me anymore but couldn't cancel because too much money was already spent. People's heads were spinning between me and the speakers. My fiancé's face went white. Jess stood up like she was going to run, but my cousin blocked the pew exit. Turn it off, his mother screamed. Turn it off. But there were 6 voicemails, and my brother played all of them. His mom tried to get to the sound booth. She made it 4 steps before her knees gave out and she hit the floor. His dad and uncle caught her before her head smacked the marble. Someone called 911. I stopped at the altar. Looked at my fiancé while his voice played through the speakers telling Jess he'd leave me, eventually, when the timing was better. The wedding's off, I said into the microphone, but the honeymoon's non-refundable and I'm going to Bali alone. Oh, and Jess, you can have him. I kept the ring though. I turned and walked back down the aisle. Jess was crying in her pew. His groomsmen looked like they wanted to die. My family started clapping, slowly at first, then louder. His mother regained consciousness in time to scream, "You vindictive bitch," as I passed. The paramedics were loading her onto a stretcher. His dad just stared at him with this look of complete disgust. I changed in my car and drove straight to the airport. My brother had my passport and a bag he'd packed. I turned my phone off somewhere over the Pacific. Bali was perfect. I snorkeled, got a massage, slept until noon, updated my social media with photos of me in a bikini on beaches he'd picked out for us. His family sent my parents a bill for his mother's ambulance ride. My dad told them to go to hell. I got back last week. He's been staying with Jess. His mom is threatening to sue me for emotional damages. My friends are split. Half think I'm a legend, half think I humiliated his family who didn't deserve it. His little sister sent me a message saying her mom has anxiety attacks now and can't go to church anymore. That I destroyed her in front of their whole community. That whatever he did, his mom didn't deserve to be traumatized. I didn't mean for her to faint. I just wanted him to face what he did in front of everyone who was celebrating our love. Am I wrong? His mother showed up at my parents' house 4 days after I got back from Bali with a lawyer, and 2 of his cousins blocking the driveway. My dad opened the door before they could knock. I was still in my pajamas eating cereal at the kitchen table when I heard her voice. She needs to pay for what she did to our family. The lawyer was young, maybe 30, wearing a suit that looked too big. He handed my dad papers while his mom stood there with her arms crossed. She looked different than at the wedding. Thinner, her hair wasn't done. We're seeking compensation for medical expenses, emotional distress, and defamation of character. My dad read the first page and laughed. Actually laughed. You're suing my daughter because your son cheated and she exposed it. She humiliated us in front of 200 people, one of the cousins said. His name was something generic. I'd met him twice. Aunt Carol had to be hospitalized because of her stunt. Your aunt fainted because her son's a cheating piece of shit, my dad said. Now get off my property. They didn't leave. His mom pushed past my dad and came into the kitchen. Saw me sitting there and her face went red. You vindictive little bitch. You could have handled it privately, but you wanted to destroy him. I put my spoon down. He destroyed himself. I just played the evidence. Evidence you obtained illegally by going through his phone without permission. His passcode was our anniversary. He gave me permission every time he told me I could trust him. She stepped closer. The lawyer stayed in the doorway looking uncomfortable. My son made a mistake. People make mistakes, but what you did was calculated and cruel. What I did was show 200 people who he really is instead of letting him lie to them the same way he lied to me for 8 months. You didn't have to play those recordings in a church, in front of his grandmother. His little cousins were there. My mom came downstairs then, took one look at the situation and pulled out her phone. You have 10 seconds to leave before I call the police for trespassing. The lawyer touched his mom's arm. Mrs. Patterson, we should go. She jerked away from him, looked at me with real hate. Jess told me what you're really like. How controlling you were. How you monitored his phone and accused him of things constantly. He was miserable. I stood up. Jess is fucking your son. Maybe don't take relationship advice from your future daughter-in-law's mistress. They're in love, real love, not whatever sick obsession you had with him. They've been in love for 8 months while he was planning a wedding with me. That's not love. That's just being an asshole. She slapped me. My mom screamed. My dad grabbed her arm and physically walked her to the door while she yelled about pressing charges. The cousins followed. The lawyer apologized 3 times and left his card on the porch. I had a red mark on my cheek for 2 hours. My mom took pictures. We filed a police report that afternoon. His sister called that night, the little one who'd sent the message about their mom's anxiety. You're really going to press charges? She's having a breakdown. She came to my house and assaulted me. Because you traumatized her. She can't sleep. She's on medication now. Dad's worried about her heart. That's awful. Maybe she should talk to her son about why his choices caused this. You're punishing her for what he did. No, I'm protecting myself from someone who showed up at my house, trespassed, and hit me. Your mom's an adult who made her own choices today. She started crying. We've never dealt with anything like this. Our family doesn't do drama. You brought this into our lives. Your brother brought this into my life when he fucked my friend for 8 months. I just made sure everyone knew about it. She hung up, blocked my number apparently because my follow-up text didn't deliver. The lawsuit papers were bullshit according to my uncle, who's an actual lawyer. They're claiming emotional distress, but she exposed legitimate infidelity with evidence. The voicemails were his voice, on his phone. Any judge will toss this. But it still meant I needed a lawyer, which meant spending money I didn't have because I just paid for half a wedding. My parents offered to help, but they'd already lost their deposit on the venue and the catering. His mom posted on social media 2 days later. A long thing about family values and privacy and cruel people who destroy lives for revenge. Didn't name me, but everyone knew. Her church friends commented things like, praying for you, and some people have no class. My aunt shared it with commentary. This woman raised a cheater and is mad she got caught. Interesting priorities. That started a whole war in the comments. His family versus mine, people from the wedding picking sides. His cousin called my aunt white trash. My cousin posted screenshots of messages my ex had sent trying to get me to talk privately after Bali. Messages where he said Jess meant nothing and he'd made a huge mistake. Jess posted a photo of them together yesterday, at a restaurant, his arm around her, caption about finding love in unexpected places. The comments were brutal, people calling her a homewrecker, asking if she had any shame. Someone found her employer and tagged them asking if they knew their employee destroyed an engagement. She deleted it within an hour, but the screenshots spread everywhere. My ex messaged me this morning. Can you please call off your family? Jess is getting death threats at work. I blocked him without responding. My friends are worried I'm becoming obsessed, that I need to move on instead of watching the fallout, but I'm not doing anything. I'm just existing while his family implodes and people realize what he did. His mom is suing me. Jess is facing consequences for sleeping with an engaged man. He's learning that actions have results. My therapist thinks I'm avoiding processing the betrayal by focusing on the drama. Maybe she's right, but also maybe I'm just not ready to fall apart when I still feel justified. Am I wrong for not making this easier on them? Jess got fired 3 days ago, and now my ex is blaming me like I personally called her boss. I found out through my cousin who saw it on social media. Jess posted this long rant about cancel culture and how people were harassing her workplace until they had no choice. She didn't mention the affair, just said she was being persecuted for falling in love. The comments were half people celebrating and half calling it too far. My ex sent me 15 messages in 1 hour. I didn't block his new number yet because my lawyer said to keep evidence of contact. You happy now? She lost her job because of you. She's got rent to pay. She didn't deserve this. I didn't respond, but he kept going. Your family has been commenting on every post about us. Your cousin literally tagged her employer. This is harassment. My cousin did tag them, along with about 40 other people asking if the company supported homewreckers. I didn't ask her to do it, didn't even know until it was done. His mom's lawsuit got dismissed last week. The judge took one look at the filing and called it frivolous. My uncle said the lawyer probably knew it was garbage from the start, but took her money anyway. She has to pay my legal fees now, $2,200 she doesn't want to give me. My dad sent a formal demand letter. She responded by showing up at his work. His office manager called him crying because some woman was in the lobby screaming about her son being destroyed by our family. Security walked her out. My dad's boss asked what the hell was going on, and he had to explain the whole situation. She got banned from the building. There's a photo of her being escorted out that someone posted in a local Facebook group. My aunt shared it with the caption, "When keeping it real goes wrong." I know I should feel bad. She looks awful in the picture, older than she is. Crying, but I can't make myself care. My ex showed up at my gym yesterday. I was on the treadmill when I saw him walk in. He doesn't have a membership there. The front desk girl tried to stop him, but he pushed past her and came straight to where I was. We need to talk. I pulled out my earbuds, didn't stop running. No, we don't. Jess is falling apart. She's having panic attacks. She can't afford her apartment without her job. That's unfortunate. You did this to her. I hit the stop button, got off the treadmill, looked at him for the first time in 3 weeks. He looked tired, thinner. I didn't do anything to her. She did it to herself when she fucked my fiancé for 8 months. People were staring. He lowered his voice. Can we please go somewhere private? No. I'm trying to apologize. I'm trying to make this right. You can't make this right. There's no version of reality where you fix this. I made a mistake. I was confused about what I wanted. You weren't confused when you left voicemails telling her you loved her. You weren't confused when you took her to the same hotel where we spent our first anniversary. His face went red. How did you know about that? Credit card statements. You're not as careful as you think. The gym manager came over then, asked if there was a problem. My ex said no, but I said yes and pointed out he wasn't a member. They made him leave. He stood in the parking lot for 20 minutes staring at the building before he finally drove away. I filed for a restraining order that afternoon. My lawyer said showing up at my gym after everything else was enough. The hearing is next week. His sister called again. Different sister this time, the older one I actually liked. You need to stop this. He's desperate. Mom's on antidepressants. Jess's parents are threatening to sue you too. For what? Exposing the affair their daughter participated in. For harassment, for encouraging people to get her fired. I didn't encourage anyone. I'm not responsible for other people's reactions to public information. You posted about the wedding on social media. You made it public. I posted that the wedding was canceled. I didn't post the voicemails. People who were there told other people. That's not my fault. You're destroying multiple lives over one mistake. It wasn't one mistake. It was hundreds of choices over 8 months. Every time he lied. Every time she came to wedding planning meetings and pretended to be my friend. Those were choices. She was quiet for a minute. Then she said, I don't think you're ever going to forgive him. I'm not, and I don't understand why that's hard for your family to accept. She hung up. My friends threw me a divorce party last weekend, even though we never got married. Drank wine and burned photos. One of them made a cake that said, "Congrats on dodging a bullet." We laughed until we cried and I felt good for the first time in a month. Then I got home and saw my ex had driven past my apartment 6 times according to my building's security footage. The guard recognized his car from when he used to live here. Said he slowed down each time but never stopped. I sent the footage to my lawyer. She said it strengthens the restraining order case. His mom left a voicemail on my parents' landline yesterday. Sobbing, saying I'd ruined her son's life and she hopes I'm proud. That Jess is a good girl who made one mistake and doesn't deserve to lose everything. That I'm cruel and heartless and she's praying for me. My mom saved it, said we might need it later. I don't feel cruel. I feel tired. But every time I think about letting it go, about asking my family to stop posting or my cousin to delete her comments, I remember sitting on that bathroom floor reading messages between my fiancé and my friend. I remember the voice memo where she asked if he'd think about her while saying his vows to me. My therapist says I'm using anger to avoid grief. Maybe, but the anger feels cleaner than the sadness. Should I be trying harder to end this, or is letting it play out okay? The restraining order got approved yesterday, and my ex violated it 6 hours later. I was leaving work around 7 when I saw his car in the parking garage. Same spot he used to park when we'd meet for lunch. He was leaning against the driver's side door with his arms crossed like he'd been waiting. I turned around and walked back toward the building entrance. He followed me. Just hear me out, 5 minutes. I didn't look at him, pulled out my phone and called 911. Told them someone with an active restraining order was following me in a parking garage and gave them the address. Are you seriously calling the cops on me? I just want to talk. The dispatcher stayed on the line, asked if I was safe, if I could get to a public area. I made it back inside the building lobby before he grabbed my arm. Let go of me. Please, Jess is pregnant. My brain stopped working for a second. The security guard came over asking what was going on. My ex dropped my hand. We're just talking. No, we're not. He has a restraining order, and he's not supposed to be within 500 feet of me. The guard told him to leave. My ex kept talking. She's 8 weeks. We didn't plan it, but it's happening, and I need you to stop what you're doing to us because we're trying to build a life. Police got there 4 minutes later. 2 officers. One of them recognized my ex from the report I'd filed about him driving past my apartment. They arrested him in the lobby while he yelled about how I was ruining his chance to be a father. I gave a statement, showed them the restraining order paperwork. The officer said violating it this quickly basically guaranteed jail time. Asked if I wanted to press additional charges for grabbing my arm. I said yes. He spent the night in county jail. His mom posted bail this morning. $1,200 she apparently borrowed from their church because she's still refusing to pay my legal fees from the dismissed lawsuit. His sister called me from the jail parking lot. You really had him arrested? He was just trying to tell you about the baby. He could have told me through his lawyer. He chose to corner me in a parking garage after a judge specifically told him to stay away. Jess is pregnant, and you're acting like that doesn't change anything. It doesn't change anything for me. It changes everything for them, and that's their problem. You're going to let him have a criminal record, the father of an unborn child. He gave himself a criminal record when he violated a restraining order 6 hours after it was issued. She started crying, real crying, not manipulative crying. Our family is falling apart. Mom's on medication. Dad's not speaking to him. Now he might lose his job if they find out about the arrest, and you just keep pushing. I'm not pushing anything. I'm protecting myself from someone who won't leave me alone. He loves her. He made a mistake with you, but he really loves her. That hit different than I expected. If he loved her, he wouldn't have proposed to me. He wouldn't have planned a wedding. He wouldn't have told her in a voicemail he was only marrying me because too much money was already spent. She went quiet. Did she tell you that part? That he was going to marry me anyway and keep sleeping with her? He said you took things out of context. There's no context that makes that okay. He was going to stand at an altar and lie to me, to your family, to everyone while fucking her in hotel rooms. She hung up. Jess posted an ultrasound photo this afternoon. Caption about new beginnings and unexpected blessings. Comments were worse than last time. People asking if she's sure it's his. Asking if she got pregnant on purpose to trap him. Someone calculated conception date and pointed out it was 2 weeks before our wedding. My cousin commented, "Congratulations on your consequences," with a heart emoji. Got 200 likes before Jess deleted the whole post. My ex's best man messaged me tonight. We'd been friendly, I liked him. I know this isn't my business, but he's in a bad place. The arrest is going to cost him his security clearance at work. He might get fired. His mom is having a breakdown, and now there's a baby coming. Can you maybe ease up? I asked him if he knew about the affair before the wedding. He didn't answer for 10 minutes. Then he said, I found out a month before. He told me he was ending it. Did you think about telling me? It wasn't my place. I blocked him. My lawyer said the violation charge is solid. He'll probably get probation, community service, maybe a fine. Could be worse if the judge is having a bad day. The grabbed arm adds battery. She seemed pleased about that. I'm not pleased, I'm tired. I wanted this to be over after the wedding, after Bali, after the lawsuit got dismissed, but it keeps going because none of them will just accept what happened and move on. My therapist asked if I feel guilty about the pregnancy. I don't. I feel nothing about it. She's having his baby and that's between them and has nothing to do with me. But everyone keeps acting like I'm supposed to care or change my behavior because of it. My mom thinks I should drop the charges from last night. Says it'll look bad that I'm prosecuting a soon-to-be father. My dad disagrees. Says actions have consequences and my ex needs to learn that. I don't know what I think anymore. Part of me wants to watch him lose everything the same way I lost everything. Part of me is just exhausted. Is it wrong to let the charges go through, or should I care that there's a baby involved? The court hearing was 3 weeks ago, and my ex got 6 months probation plus a $5,000 fine for violating the restraining order. His lawyer tried to argue extenuating circumstances, said he was under emotional duress because of the pregnancy and just wanted to communicate about their future. The judge wasn't interested. Told him a restraining order doesn't have exceptions for baby announcements, and grabbing someone's arm in a parking garage is still battery regardless of your girlfriend's pregnancy status. His mom stood up in the courtroom and called the judge biased. Security had to remove her. His dad just sat there with his head in his hands looking like he wanted to disappear. I didn't say anything during the hearing. My lawyer handled it, but I made eye contact with my ex once while the judge was reading the sentence, and he looked at me like I'd personally destroyed his entire life. Maybe I did, I still don't feel bad about it. He lost his security clearance 2 days after the sentencing. His job gave him 30 days to find another position in the company that didn't require clearance, or they'd terminate him. He got reassigned to some administrative role, making 40% less. Jess is 7 months pregnant now, and they're trying to survive on his reduced salary plus whatever she makes doing freelance social media work from home. His mom hasn't paid the legal fees. My dad filed a collections claim. It'll tank her credit, but she still sends my parents messages about how we're heartless monsters destroying a young family. The whole thing made local news somehow. Not major coverage, but one of those community interest pieces about a wedding that got canceled in a dramatic way. They didn't use names, but everyone in town knew who it was about. The reporter reached out to me for comment. I declined. Jess apparently talked to them and said she was the victim of a vindictive ex who couldn't handle her fiancé finding real love. The comment section on that article destroyed her. People who'd been at the wedding shared details. Someone posted screenshots of the voicemails transcribed. Another person explained she'd been the maid of honor and had helped plan the bachelorette party while sleeping with the groom. She deleted all her social media after that, every account just gone. My ex tried one more time to contact me about a month ago. Sent a letter to my parents' house because he couldn't reach me directly. Long handwritten thing about how he understood he'd hurt me, but we'd both moved on, and could I please stop my family from posting about them online and ruining their chance at a peaceful life. I didn't respond, but I did ask my cousin to cool it on the social media stuff. Not because I forgave anything, but because I was tired of thinking about them. She posts occasionally still, can't help herself, but it's less frequent. I ran into his sister at a coffee shop last week, the older one who'd called me after the arrest. She was picking up a mobile order, and I was waiting for mine, and we just stood there looking at each other for a solid 10 seconds. She spoke first. He's miserable if that makes you feel better. It doesn't really make me feel anything. Jess is due next month, they're having a girl. I nodded, didn't know what to say to that. Mom wants me to ask if you consider meeting with them, some kind of mediation or closure thing. No. She thinks if you could just sit down together, you'd see he's suffered enough. I don't care if he's suffered, I don't care if he hasn't. I care about living my life without any of you in it. She looked tired, older than I remembered. Fair enough. My order came up, I grabbed it and left. Saw her still standing there through the window looking at her phone with this defeated expression. I've been doing okay mostly. Started seeing someone new about 6 weeks ago. Met him at a friend's birthday thing. He knows the whole story because everyone in my circle knows the whole story and he doesn't seem bothered by it. Says his ex cheated too, so he gets it. We're taking it slow. I'm not ready for anything serious and he respects that. It's nice having someone to talk to who doesn't have an opinion about what I should or shouldn't have done. My therapist says I'm processing things in a healthier way now. Less focused on the fallout and more focused on building something new. I still have moments where I think about that bathroom floor and the voicemails and the look on his face when those speakers started playing in the church. But they're less frequent. I keep the ring, sold it last month actually. Used the money for a down payment on my own place, 1-bedroom apartment with a balcony. My ex doesn't know where I live and that feels important. His mom sent one final message 2 weeks ago through my dad's work email since she's blocked everywhere else. Said their granddaughter would grow up knowing how cruel I was and what I'd done to their family. That karma would find me eventually. My dad forwarded it to our lawyer. We're considering a harassment claim, but honestly I don't have the energy anymore. I saw a photo of Jess recently. Friend of a friend posted it without realizing the connection. She was hugely pregnant sitting at some restaurant with my ex and she looked happy. Maybe she is. Maybe they're building something real out of the wreckage, or maybe they're just two people who destroyed other lives and are stuck with each other now because no one else would want them. I don't know, and I'm learning not to care. The wedding would have been a year ago, next month. I thought about it yesterday while I was unpacking boxes in my new apartment. Thought about what that day would have looked like if I hadn't checked his phone. I'd be married to someone who didn't love me planning a future that was already broken. Instead I'm here, single, starting over, no husband but also no betrayal. No family gatherings with in-laws who'd have secretly known their son was cheating. No anniversary of a lie. People ask if I regret the way I handled it, if I'd do it differently. Honestly, I don't know. Playing those voicemails in that church was cruel. Watching his mom collapse was horrible. The fallout hurt people who didn't deserve it, including his little sister and his grandmother who died 3 months ago, still thinking I was some vindictive woman who'd humiliated her family. But I also think about the alternative. Canceling quietly, letting him save face, protecting his reputation while I fell apart in private, and I can't imagine choosing that. He made his choices for 8 months. I made mine for 3 minutes in a church. We both have to live with the consequences. My brother asked me last week if I felt closure yet. I told him I don't think that's how this works. There's no clean ending where everything makes sense and everyone moves on peacefully. There's just before and after. Before I knew and after I knew. Before that church and after. I'm building an after that doesn't include him or Jess or his family or any of the drama. Some days are harder than others. Some days I wake up angry. But most days now I wake up and don't think about them at all until something reminds me. That feels like enough.